Yeah, yeah, yeah. I actually miss the color, the sound, the smiles, the laughter, and also the food. My God. Seema is
Yes.
also missing the same. It's damn difficult to do this because we have been used to seeing all our teachers 332 on the screen, smiling, laughing, nudging, saying Harish Shetty bore kar raha hai, and the entire management team also. What a splendid moment we have during induction. But let me remind our chairman and request him also that when we start the school, we need the food because in life, in colleges or marriages, you remember, in colleges, you remember the teacher, food for thought, and the food they serve from the home. And in marriages, we remember the food before the groom and the bridegroom. So, sir, this is a simple request.
Oh, sure, sure. We look into that.
Thank you, sir. I'm so happy to actually listen to everybody very quietly and remember one thing in the context of our country, likability improves listening. If you like somebody, you listen. Otherwise, you just shut up. And that's what I'm going to talk about. And as I listened to each one of them, they had different perspectives, different food for thought, and wisdom personified. Each human being is wise and creative. Few discover it in their lifetime. At the outset, I would welcome all the new teachers. I can't see them. I wish I saw them, but I'll see you soon. And I welcome also all the old teachers. Ghar Wapasi. Sandeep Singh is doing Ghar Wapasi. He's here for the second year, and it's so beautiful. He's added value to our school immensely. And when I say likability improves listening, reverence improves absorption. Absorb when reverence, you may absorb the wisdom, but also the prejudices. So awareness is between likability and reverence, and awareness helps you to absorb wisdom effortlessly. Earth is the best teacher. Are our antennas open? Well, the cosmos holds all our memories. Patanjali did not do a double blind crossover study to discover yoga. He just sat in his pose, meditated, and gathered the entire knowledge from the cosmos. This is something which we do not teach in our schools. Well, psychologists also talked about collective unconsciousness. Carl Jung was one of them. When two people say the same thing in different parts of the world, it's not because of coincidence, it's because brains are connected and brains are connected to the cosmos. And this knowledge is missing. Anubhuti was what Patanjali did. He just felt it. Experience is what we are taught in research. Logic, logic, logic. Very important, extremely important. But when logic merges with your state of being and your awareness, there is a revolution. So, as I said, cosmos holds all the memories. Carl Jung also said that whatever we think is released in our memories, brain is actually a transmitter and a receiver. Well, as I said, he did not do a double blind crossover study. दिखाओ तो हम विश्वास करेंगे. No. Present day research is logic, proof, evidence, which is important. And with that, we need to have the Supta Shakti of being connected with the cosmos. And how to do it? Well, Patanjali gave us yoga, Vatsayana celibate gave us Kama Sutra just by absorbing the knowledge which exists in the cosmos, released by millions and trillions of people across the entire life of the earth. And one day, what I'm talking as of now will be proved by science. Well, I've always believed in this. I still remember 2 days ago, I was brushing my teeth and I had given some title to Sandeep sir. And I said, ye title hata do. Mere dimag mein aur ek title aaya hai. And a few years ago, I was sharing these sentences and they said, you are against intellectual property. I said, no. Ideas have no ownership. It has an energy, character, thinking, feeling, and life of its own. Ideas have no ownership. I might say something because I was stimulated by my students, my colleagues, my friends, you guys, 332 on the screen. And my patients, my families, and then the idea emanates. It's not de novo, including E is equal to mc square. The connectivity of the cosmos is something we need to be aware of. So ideas have no ownership. It has an energy, character, thinking, feeling, and life of its own. Well, you might discover something, but you don't own it. So I'm saying if vaccines have been discovered by Pfizer and Moderna, they should share the science with all countries. They'll say, we have worked hard. Well, in a different era, other countries will work hard. That's the cycle of innovation and invention. Which means family has a cycle. Starts, goes up, and then it falls. Communities have a cycle, nations have a cycle, continents have a cycle. If you have discovered Pfizer, a vaccine, and Moderna has discovered a vaccine by spending dollars, it could be in millions, you're not looking for making billions, you're looking for sharing the knowledge with the world. Because at some point of time, the East will share their knowledge, which is also as good. Yoga has been shared free of cost. Mindfulness, Vipassana was shared free of cost. So when ideas have ownership, they lose the glitter, they lose the energy. So you can share these slides with anybody, and it's perfectly all right if you use it at any point of time, anywhere, because I don't own any ideas, because I say something because I've been stimulated by a lot of people across time. Well, we are not rishis. We are ordinary human beings doing extraordinary work. I'm sorry, Seemaji, don't get upset. I did not get a picture of the SSC board. I got this picture, and these guys are always very heavily dressed and much, much better dressed than all of us, including me as of now. So we are not rishis, but we are ordinary human beings. Are our antennas open? I still remember the day when I was walking on Hanuman Road at Vileparle, and my school friend K.S. Kumar, classmate, he said, Harish, it's easy to get a boyfriend or a girlfriend, but it's very difficult to get friends. And that stuck. Casual conversation, that stuck. And I converted that into a workshop across time, the last 25 years. It came from somebody, a friend, on a casual conversation. It didn't come in a workshop. It didn't come in a lecture of a celebrity. Each one of us is a celebrity. It came casually, but Mantina picked it up. I still remember Seema Mehta. I was teaching a course, 2001. She was my student in the course, and she said, Sir, why is the female handkerchief small and the male handkerchief big? It stuck into my antenna. And then I researched, I thought, I brought more metaphors, more learning, explored, talked this to thousands of groups, including senior government officers, school teachers, clerks, ordinary workers. And I got a lot of insight about emotions and human beings. And she shared it just like that. So are our antennas open? And remember one thing, anybody who has lived on the earth has something new to offer, and he or she would not offer because it's new. In casual conversations, you get wisdom. When you think and talk, there is no wisdom, because wisdom is in the collective unconscious. Processing happens without your knowledge. It's not the processing in your lifetime, it's the processing across time from the earth, from the time the earth was born in the universe, because collective unconscious is a phenomenon which will be proved by science after some time. So are our antennas open? Not really. Even mine is not completely open. It's a process, but can we open it much faster than the others? Yes, we can. Now, I heard this sentence from my colleague, Dr. Ravi Kamath, 20 years ago in a casual conversation. Mine gold from every conversation. That's what he said. And what is so important is awareness leads to automatic wisdom. The milk goes bad, then there is a curd, it ferments, and then there's curd, and then there's loni, butter, and then there's ghee. It happens automatically. You are not doing it. If you do it, it will not happen. It happens automatically. Are we listening to the automatic unconscious of our minds? So he said, mind gold from every conversation. That was something very, very beautiful. Now, some people believe that they're in the process of awareness. But awareness and arrogance has a very thin line, extremely thin line. I'm doing yoga, you also do it. Arrogance. But if I'm doing yoga or meditation or tasbih or the rosary, if there's a change happening in me, the change will infect everybody else around us. And that is something is automatic. Opening your antennas would not be being alert. Abhi ye kya bolega? Abhi wo kya bolega? Abhi ye kya bolega? Abhi wo kya bolega? Opening your antennas is when you're aware, automatically the mind absorbs. It's not an effort, it's effortless absorption. Remember, awareness and arrogance, there's a thin line of demarcation. So, being aware would mean less with the pen, more with the ears. You'd write when you have to, when you type when you have to, but more with the ears. And that actually would mean wisdom also lies in casual conversations. A lot of insights, my dear friends, it will pass through you and you will not see it. Happens when you're chatting, talking, having lunch. I get a lot of new thoughts automatically. It's automatic while I'm brushing my teeth and having a bath. Water and my body has a different connection. Maybe others might get it. But are you listening to it? We allow it to pass, but a lot of teachers around you, young or old, because the ground is horizontal. Just because I have 30 years experience would not mean that I know everything. But casual conversations also gives you a lot of wisdom. So antennas shuts off when we say, no, I don't like her. I know she's a vegetarian. Horrible girl. She looks down upon all non-vegetarians. I know, theek hai yaar, the Shetties are non-vegetarians. And they also look down upon all vegetarians. She's my junior, he just joined two years ago. I'm her mentor. There is no one mentor on this earth. Those who have a single mentor will learn only one language of life. One language of life. A house does not stand on one pillar. A building does not stand on one pillar. It falls. There are multiple pillars, some small, some big. And every pillar is a mentor. So when you are in a school, you have 331 mentors and not one. So if you have a lot of reverence, you absorb not only wisdom, but also superstition and prejudice. Shraddha se, I still remember Dinesh Mishra, with whom I worked in Oxfam, while finding out why Bihar is flooded every year. Kosi and so many other rivers floods Bihar every year. The water comes from Nepal. He's a great man because he said casually, Harish, Shraddha se bhakti paida hoti hai, which is also important. But sandeh se gyan, as Mildred said, why? Asking the question why. Sandeh se gyan. But Shraddha, reverence, and blind reverence You learn, but you also absorb things as wisdom, which is actually prejudices and biases. The Shraddha Kendra does not like this, so you also don't like this. You fight hard to protect your loyalty, and you're so loyal that you'll fight for the wrong causes. I don't like her. She is a junior. अरे कोर नॉलेज नहीं है वो खाली बीएड है अपन एमएड है क्या listen to me carefully and please put off your microphones. My dear friends, you know what are you transacting in your class? Not the skills only which you have taught, which you have been taught by in BEd, but also your life unconsciously. Are we aware of that? Are we listening to? So it's nothing to do with core knowledge. Oh, she's less educated. I actually did my PhD. Very good if you have done your PhD because you have refined your thinking. You have set your thinking to a different standard. You want to push your brain, 1200 grams of brain, and the neurons to see to it that it gets more. But the point is, you might know a lot of logic and information and also wisdom, but anybody can throw a line which may be earth shattering. And that is so important. She's pro Modi or anti. This is a big thing now. Are you opening the antennas? And we all say open mind on nature. How to do that? People don't know. You have to have an open mind. How? Tell us how. Are you Hindu, Muslim, or a Christian? So awareness helps reprogramming. And remember, what is very important is these views will not change overnight. But awareness of those views will stop it and it won't get converted into beliefs. If views get converted into beliefs which are in absolute conflict with the world around, then you're stuck. So see to it that our views do not become beliefs and we are aware of our thoughts. She's a junior, I know, I think she's stupid, but if you're aware of it, I'm aware of it. I know what it does to my mind. It causes anger, sometimes sadness, fear, also sometimes unhappiness, and sometimes a sense of omnipotence. Spirit. I'm aware, and then the antenna also opens. You cannot delete this sentence overnight. Sometimes it takes a generation because they're wired. So views should not become irrational beliefs, and that is so important. So awareness helps reprogramming. And reprogramming can happen in every lifetime if you believe in reincarnation. Now, David Frawley, a very great scholar, spoke about a beautiful sentence. Modern physics reveals the wonders of outer space and reveals the wonder of outer space, whereas Yoga and Vedanta reveal the wonders of inner space, the space of consciousness, which transcends the universe. Very true. If you crack the code of the brain, you have cracked the code of the universe. So traveling within is as important as traveling outside. Oh, no. When I was in school, everybody told me yoga is actually for retired people and for housewives. Not at all. They're so ashamed to accept science which has been accepted by the world. Well, what will others say? Who the hell cares? Validation from the West is the biggest disease of Indian teachers. Yoga has to start from the age of 3 till you die. What it does? Awareness, your state of being changes. And when I mean yoga, it's the word for all forms of meditation. You may like anyone. So the journey within will not make you a saint, but will make you effective. And will make you all what Dr. Harish Shetty, Seema Madam, and Mildred Madam were also saying. Mildred was focusing on logic and solutions and focusing on outcomes of your learning, which is very important. But what is also very important is that when we are looking at global, do not forget local. Whatever is the curriculum, the sense of shame we have as Indians, the sense of shame we have about our past, the sense of inferiority we have about our past is something which should leave the minds and the consciousness of all leaders in schools and also teachers. Curriculums don't bind you, curriculums don't shackle you, curriculums don't put you in a slot or in jail. But Indians are loyal and fiercely loyal to everything which is given as a curriculum. No? It's time that to evaluate what we do and at the same time enrich your curriculum with awareness. Enrich your curriculum with local past, local glories. Don't be ashamed and afraid of those guys who throw stones at you. I still saw an astronaut, an Indian astronaut, whose photograph was splashed by NASA along with three other astronauts. I mean, she had so many gods, and there was tons of abuse. Why the hell do we get allergic reactions when we speak about our local glories? Leaders in our school should also assimilate things beyond their curriculum. No curriculum stop you from making your students locally aware and locally strong before they become globally wise. Because once they become globally wise, they forget their roots. And when they forget their roots around 40, they have an existential dilemma. They feel loss of meaning in life, and then they start living in small huts and start doing farming. No. Make them locally strong, because in Indian philosophy is not in conflict with the world. The Vasudeva Kutumbakam is also global, and it is known across time in the Indian sciences. That would not mean that we should get arrogant and say that everything outside is bad. Not at all. Not at all. Everything good what is happening across the world, your antenna will automatically absorb if your sense of awareness is good. So, so do not, likability improves listening. Reverence causes absorption of both wisdom and prejudices. So be careful and do not allow your views to get converted to beliefs. Awareness improves wisdom, but awareness should be guarded with arrogance. So the RNA protein, as the last speaker, Pratibha ma'am, also said something very beautifully, has changed us. But it also has reminded us your intercontinental ballistic missiles are of no use. Your missiles which can interrupt the rockets of Palestine may be of no use. All the bombs which you accumulated in the West, in the country where we want to send our kids all the time, are of no use. What a paradoxical contradiction. United States of America wants nuclear de-armaments everywhere. And we are proud of all what they do in a biased manner. Yes, the education system is phenomenal. Their ability to make people think creative is phenomenal. But remember the whole. You don't utilize and don't absorb the parts. The RNA protein has told us, Jago Manav Jat. Remember that you are a temporary traveler in this universe. And remember that whatever you learn today, you need to share with everybody. Well, intellectual property is unnatural. You may discover the idea, but you don't own it. The coronavirus has reminded us that cooperation, collaboration is the only way by which the human race can be protected. As somebody said, it's not I at all, it's always we. And as Dr. Harish Shetty spoke so beautifully of the education policy and made some fantastic points. And of course, our Seema ma'am came up with those beautiful Hindi quotes, which are magical. And absolutely, I would ask every teacher to write it down and read it once in a week. And it's so beautiful. So, my dear friends, Patanjali just sat and absorbed the cosmos and gave us yoga. He did not say it is his. He said it's the experience of thousands of rishis before me. Buddha sat under the Bodh Gaya tree, under the tree at Bodh Gaya, and said, "This is mindfulness." And he said, I want to actually share this with ordinary people." And it was preserved for 2,000 years, still in Burma. And today we pay for every session of mindfulness, but Vipassana is free all over the world. And it is basically the awareness which Buddha got is shared. Well, we get this guilty jerk sometimes. And we say, "Oh, wow, all this is good." But when you go to the class, again, you are loyal to your curriculums. You be loyal to your curriculum, but no curriculum stops you from being open to the things inside a country. But for that, the leaders here have to learn and keep their minds open so that they bring a lot of local freshness so that our students become globally smart but locally aware. My dear friends, we are maintaining the time. And I would say, let's start opening our antennas, but by saying that that lady whom I do not like, I'll actively pay attention to what she's saying, and then unconsciously you'll remember that mining gold from every conversation is something so important, and it becomes part of your nature. And then as we open our actual antennas, this is how it will look when it is reasonably open. And as you glide down the open minds across the country, you will feel enriched. There will be purpose to life. Your state of being will be powerful, and will infect others with love, compassion, and believe that the earth is the best leader. And let me share my most important sentence to me. It may not be to you guys, but the most important sentence is, ideas have no ownership. It has an energy, character, thinking, feeling, and life of its own. You might discover something new, but it is because of the processing that happened across time in your life. And you must have met so many people. You might discover it, but you don't own it. With this, I thank all the lovely teachers. I would like to meet you very soon. And my lovely counselors, they're all there in the audience. I can't see them, but I can see them in front of my eyes. Divya, Pratima, Nidhi, Radhika. And I congratulate you all, my dear teachers, for all the great work you have done across the pandemic. It's not easy. It's very tough. You have a school at home, you have an office at home, you have a playground at home, you have a restaurant at home. You managed 4 institutions in a home, and it's not easy for a mother to take care of children in the classroom and also take care of her own children. It's damn tough. Congratulations, my dear teachers of SM Shetty, for being phenomenally good and phenomenally great. I wish that you're energized and really opened to all what you've heard today. Remember, you're all connected in the cosmos. Every brain is connected to each other. Collective unconscious is truth. And it's not about I, it's always about we. With this, I thank my chairman, whom I'm waiting to actually listen to. And I thank every member of the governing board. I thank every principal. Sima is looking very somber. I thank every principal and vice principal and the coordinators and the non-teaching staff and all those who are sitting on the console managing the entire show. Congratulations for your great work. I'm inspired by you all. Thank you.